Can you hear me? Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Thank you on behalf of my board colleagues for this honor standing before you as leaders of our community. You would think this week's Torah portion was a setup, a perfect opportunity to talk about leadership, focusing on the board and on my own leadership journey. But when I look up, I see leaders all around me, each of whom have the potential to tap into the skills required of great leaders. Great leaders have the ability to build relationships, to motivate others, and the ability to learn and grow while showing gratitude, courage, compassion, and resilience. It's a tall order, I know. This week's Torah portion, Shalach Laha, in this week's Torah portion, Moses sends scouts to go ahead of the Israelites and bring back a report on what the land of Canaan is like. 12 scouts depart, one from each of the tribes. They come back with a bunch of grapes so large and heavy that it takes 2 people to carry the bunch, and they describe a land flowing with milk and honey. But they also share stories so laden with fearful visions, the Israelites are terrified. The country, they say, the country that we traveled and scouted is one that devours those who dwell there. All the people that we saw in it are giants. We looked like grasshoppers to ourselves, and so we must have looked to them. Sorry, it's really cold. Hearing what the scouts encounter, the Israelites weep, get angry at Moses and Aaron, and declare that they will head back to Egypt and to slavery rather than continue into danger. But 2 scouts, Jacob and Joshua, stood up and told the Israelites it was possible to move forward anyway. Though they surveyed the same land as the other 10 scouts and encountered the same inhabitants of Canaan, Caleb and Joshua's charge to the people was, let us surely go up. They had trust in the people's ability to overcome the challenges with God's promised help and protection. In other words, we've got this. Wisdom comes in surprising places. I recently listened to a speech by the singer Sarah Bareilles. She described a phenomenon in natural settings called the growth edge. Sarah explained that most new growth happens at the edge of the leaves, at the edge of the forest. This is also where all the exposure to danger and the elements happen, right there on the edge. But there they are, the brave cells dividing, the new pale green tips reaching into new territory, claiming space and expansion. It makes me think about my own growth edges, the places in my life when I have felt dizzying moments of self-doubt, combinations of, yes, I can, and, but what if I can't? My own formal leadership journey at Beth began when I was invited by Sherry Haff, like everybody else who joined Beth but women, Sherry Haff and Jane Marcus, to join the Beth Women Board. What if I had listened to that voice inside me that was undermining my confidence, that giant that asked, who are you to join these longtime leaders? What if I had said no? And more significant, what if Jane and Sherry had never asked me? But they didn't see a grasshopper, and I embraced the adventure of the unknown. And look where we are today. So it worked out well. So what would happen if each of us leans into yes and moves towards our own growth edges with curiosity and wonder? We can be rewarded with new friends, new experiences, new connections, new reasons to show up. By inviting somebody you haven't seen in a while, or maybe that you want to get to know, to next week's outdoor Shabbat service, ask them to stay after. All right, I started with saying, suggest bring a wine. You bring the wine and the picnic blanket. Maybe they'll bring the hummus and chips. I'm thinking it's s'mores now if it stays this cold. But the idea, you are a leader. By completing the shared identity survey and sharing more of yourself with our community, you are participating in leading us forward. By signing up for a program or event that piques your interest, reviewing the Beth Am's groups listings once they're online later this summer, planting a tree or contributing to funding opportunities, you are making the choice to be Joshua and Caleb. We as leaders in this community get to choose. Do we retreat, suspended in fear and self-doubt, or move forward with curiosity, open minds, and hearts? Fear is a great indicator of the growth edge, and I dare you, all of us, to go towards your growth edge with curiosity and see what's there, to choose. No matter what is thrown at us, we can handle it. In fact, we are stronger for it. Where the 10 scouts see potential failure and defeat, Joshua and Caleb see potential, success, and possibility. They had the courage to leap into the unknown and envision a new reality. Let's be like Caleb and Joshua. When we look around and see the same trees, the same buildings, and our surrounding neighbors that we've all seen for a long time, let us lead into the uncertainty at our collective growth edge, not only to make it through, but to grow from it and lead each other towards a genuine openness for the joy and wonder around us. On behalf of the board, I wish you all a very, very Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.